I think for me, right now, as a forward, is the best in the world, yeah.
Madrid thought they'd bought the best player in the world when they already had the best player in the world. Enjoy your Ballon d'Or, Vini.
Football is called the beautiful game because it produces a lot of beautiful stories. There are so many grass to grey stories in football, and most of them are truly beautiful, but not many more beautiful than that of Vinicius Jr. This guy went from the streets of Brazil to a Ballon d'Or winner right in front of our eyes. So let's talk about that. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it, but when you hear his story, you'll see how much crazier it is. First, did you know that Vini started as a defender? His footballing story officially started in 2006 when his dad took him to a Flamengo office in the neighborhood, and as per his club documents, he was a defender. Vini wanted to play football right from when he was a kid, but there was a problem. His family was very poor. They were so poor that they could not afford his transport to and from the training facility every day. So, as a kid, he had to leave home and go live with his uncle. When he was 7, he started to play futsal, and 2 years later he went for a trial at Flamengo, but they asked him to come back the following year. Instead of returning, you know what Vini did? He abandoned futsal and went to focus on his real passion, football. It was football he wanted to play, so the futsal rejection just gave him the motivation to go and pursue his dream. This mentality would become the theme of Vini's life and entire career. The following year, at the age of 10, Vini went for trials for the Flamengo youth football team. And guess what? He got in. From being rejected from the futsal team to being accepted into the football team in just 1 year, it was already starting to be a beautiful story. From there, he started to build on his natural abilities and develop himself. Eventually, he rose to the first team, making his senior team debut in 2017 at the age of 16. Flamengo just saw how good Vini was, and they could instantly tell that he was going to be a global star. And they were right. Not long after, Real Madrid and Barcelona started to snoop around, as they both saw how talented he was, and they wanted him right from the jump. They were so sure that this was going to be the next Neymar, and they were ready to do anything to get him. But it was Real Madrid who won this battle. According to reports, Vini was close to joining Barcelona, but right at the end, he turned around and chose Madrid. It turned out to be one of the best decisions of his entire life. In 2017, when he was still 16 years old, Madrid reached an agreement with Flamengo effective after he turned 18 in July 2018, as that was the minimum age required for international transfers. So, in the summer of 2018, Vini officially moved to Madrid for a reported fee of 46 million euros, making him the most expensive teenager in world football at the time. With that price tag came insane pressure. First, playing for a club as big as Real Madrid was always going to be a lot of pressure. But when Madrid makes you the most expensive teenager ever, the pressure is doubled. On top of all that, the summer Vini was joining was the same summer Cristiano Ronaldo was leaving the club. So yeah, that tripled the pressure. And how did Vini handle the pressure? Well, he didn't. We wish we could tell you that he came in and hit the ground running and immediately showed value for money. But that just wasn't the case. In his first year, Vini was looking like a poor investment. People were saying that Perez had gotten it wrong with this one, and that his obsession with Brazilian players had got him into trouble this time. You could see that the boy had some talent, but he was often guilty of overdoing things. His dribbles didn't always come off, and his finishing was just downright terrible. But he was working so hard to get better when the worst thing happened. What happened? We'll tell you shortly, but take a second to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, and subscribe to the channel to show your support. So, here's what happened. During a Champions League round of 16 game against Ajax, Vini sustained a very serious knee injury, which ruled him out for pretty much all the season. He was in tears. He'd been working hard trying to get better, and this injury just came and set him back. Seeing how his first season at the club went, Madrid knew they had to do something about the left wing. So they went and spent 100 million euros on Eden Hazard in the summer of 2019. With that signing, people were already predicting an early end to Vini's career. Hazard was one of the best players in the world, and he was just 28 years old at the time and in his prime. The expectation was that Hazard would own Madrid's left wing for the next 5 years or so, which would force the club to probably loan Vini out and eventually sell him. You know, just like it happened with Martin Ødegaard. But as fate would have it, Hazard's first season at Real Madrid was very similar to Vini's. He got injured and ended up missing a large portion of the season. This gave Vini a path back into the team. In the 2019-20 season, he featured a lot more. He played a total of 49 games for Real Madrid that season, but the problem was that his finishing had still not improved. In his 49 appearances, he scored just 6 goals, 2 of which came in one game against Liverpool in the Champions League. In the 7 months between October and May, Vini scored only 1 league goal, bearing in mind that he only missed 2 games during that period. It was during this season that Karim Benzema made that infamous statement about him, telling a teammate not to pass to Vini because he was playing against them. That's how bad the Brazilian seemed at the time. And you know how it is with Real Madrid. If you're bad, you'll hear it from the fans. So best believe Vini was receiving a lot of abuse from his fans. He was often labelled as one of the club's worst players, and in fact one of the worst attackers in the league. Many people swore that he would not amount to anything as a footballer, and it was only a matter of time before Madrid got fed up and got rid of him. But then, Carlo Ancelotti was rehired in 2021, and that changed Vini's life. It felt like Ancelotti took him up as a personal project and was determined to turn him into a superstar. Did it work? What do you think? From scoring only 6 goals the previous season and having his teammates say he was playing against the team, Vini grew to become one of Real Madrid's most important players in the 2021-22 season. He became more confident in front of goal, and his creative side also started to blossom. During this season, he formed a lethal strike partnership with Karim Benzema, and together they went on to conquer the world. Vini scored 22 goals and provided 20 assists in 52 appearances for Real Madrid. One of those goals came in the Champions League final against Liverpool, and it was enough to win Madrid the trophy. That year, he won the inaugural UEFA Champions League Young Player of the Season award. His 30 goal contributions in the league also helped Real Madrid win the title and complete the European double. His performances earned him a spot in the La Liga team of the season for the first time. For his performances that season, Karim Benzema won the Ballon d'Or, and when he presented his award to the Bernabeu, you could see Vini applauding passionately. Little did he know, it would be his turn soon. With Vini's improved form, Real Madrid was sure they no longer needed Hazard, so the club parted ways with the Belgian in 2023 and handed the prestigious number 7 to Vini. That shirt came with a whole lot of responsibility, but this time Vinicius was ready. The boy was ready to become a man. That same summer, Karim Benzema also left the club, meaning that Vini Jr. now had to step up and carry the attack all by himself. It was his club now. He was no longer the sidekick. He was now the main man. But the season didn't start well for him. You see, halfway into the 2023-24 season, he'd scored just 4 league goals and provided just 1 assist. And the main reason for that was because he suffered 2 different serious injuries, which sidelined him for a total of 2.5 months. But at the business end of the season, when Madrid needed him, Vini showed up. From January, he turned into a different beast, providing 25 goal contributions in 5 months. And most of these goals and assists came in huge games. He scored a hat-trick in the Spanish Supercopa final against Barcelona, scored 1 and assisted 2 against title contenders Girona, scored 1 and assisted another in El Clasico against Barcelona, assisted 2 in the Champions League quarter-final against Manchester City, scored 2 against Bayern Munich in the semis, and scored the clincher in the Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund. With that, Vini became the youngest player to ever score 2 Champions League final goals, snatching the record from a certain Lionel Messi. When it mattered most, Vini didn't fail to step up. And it wasn't just about the goals and assists. He was always dribbling, running at defenses, tracking back when needed, creating, and just being a thorn in the flesh of the opposition. For his performances in the competition, producing 11 goal contributions in 10 appearances, Vini Jr. was named Champions League Player of the Season. So he went from Young Player of the Season to Player of the Season in just 2 years. The boy became a man so quickly. He was also named in La Liga Team of the Season for the 3rd season in a row, after he helped Real Madrid win the league with his 21 goal contributions in 26 La Liga appearances. In total, he produced 35 goal contributions in 39 appearances for Real Madrid in the 2023-24 season. He also scored 2 goals in 3 appearances and helped Brazil reach the quarterfinals of the Copa America. This was the season where Vini proved that he was indeed the best player in the world. From his performances in the knockout stages of the Champions League, it was clear to everyone that Vini was going to win the Ballon d'Or. Nobody showed the levels he showed that season, so it was an easy call. Tomorrow, he will be announced as the 2024 Ballon d'Or winner, becoming the first player born in the 21st century to win the award, and the first Brazilian to win it in 17 years. Just 3 years ago, if anyone had told you that Vini would ever win the Ballon d'Or, you would have laughed in their face. But this guy was able to defy the odds and reach the top of football. I mean, you can make all sorts of arguments that the standards have dropped from when Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo used to dominate the sport and all the awards. But let's face it, those guys weren't normal. They were aliens from another planet. Normalcy has now been restored to the sport, and of all the normal players, Vini has proven to be the best. Mind you, he's been dominating the sport while also doing all sorts of humanitarian services outside the pitch. He opened an institute in Brazil to help underprivileged kids in the country. He's also at the forefront of the fight against racism in Spain, and he became only the second footballer in history after Pelé to be appointed a UNESCO ambassador. For all the humanitarian work he does outside the pitch, Vini won the Socrates Award at the 2023 Ballon d'Or, so you can say that he's been kicking it both on and off the pitch. But does Vini have what it takes to become the best Brazilian footballer of the 21st century? He surely would have to overtake Ronaldo if he's going to achieve that, and overtaking Ronaldo won't be easy. For those who never got to watch him, click this link and we'll tell you how good prime Ronaldo Nazario was. Thanks for watching. Show your support by smashing the like and subscribe buttons.